everything.
Alright guys, so we are back in the Twitch JSON API on Free Code Camp. So what are we trying to do? We are going to use the Twitch API to, one, display our first user story here, that the Twitch channel is online or offline. Two, we want to be able to see we want to see who they're following, their channel status, if they're live, and we want to output what they're streaming. And then three, if they're currently streaming, see additional details. I just kind of covered that. And then we want a placeholder notification if a streamer has closed their Twitch account. Now they give you an array to use who regularly stream. I'm going to do it a little bit more complex, where we're going to actually get their followers using the API, because I don't like this. This is bad practice to hard code something like this. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, this is what it's going to look like. I definitely encourage you to go ahead and style it yourself. But I always do basic styling and kind of leave it up to you to decide what works best. But this is the general functionality that you're going to have at the end of it. So to get started, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Let's go ahead and close this. We're going to start off by naming it. We'll say Twitch YouTube 2. The reason it's 2 is I messed up earlier. We're going to go ahead and import Bootstrap. Save ourselves some styling time. And we're also going to import jQuery here. Go ahead and save that. So, for me, this first video is going to be about, other than the setup, is going to be about simply kind of setting up our class. So, our HTML. So we have our div class, and we're going to make this a container. The container in Bootstrap brings everything in, so it doesn't go all the way to the edges. Now, if you want it to go all the way to the edges, you would use container-fluid. So we're going to go ahead and get that in there. We're also going to have an H1 here, and, excuse me, I'm going to create another div that's going to store our, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to store, like, our headings and our free code camp status. So we're going to give it an ID of header, and we'll use this later, but we're just setting it up right now. We also want it to be centered, so we'll go ahead and add that class, since it's already built into Bootstrap, to center this div. Let's go ahead and close the div. And we're also going to want to put in an H1 so people know what we're working on. So we have right here, use the TwitchTV JSON API. And then below that, we're going to get a little shout out to Free Code Camp, in case anybody comes across it on codepen.io. And let's see. So we have our little div here. We're gonna need to create another. We're gonna create a H3 that's gonna contain the status of Free Code Camp. So that's gonna be empty. We're gonna use JavaScript to get that. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and name it. We're gonna name this FCC status. We'll come back to that later. There's that. So we have FCC status. Now what else do we need? The next thing that I did was I wanted to have basically 3 rows of stuff coming out. So you want the logo, the display name, and the status, regardless if they're online or not. And this is for our followers. So let's go ahead and get that started. We can create a, how do we want to do this? To get it evenly spread, we'll create 3 divs, and we'll give it class equal to, well, first we need to create a row. And then we're going to create a div here, and we'll just go ahead and give it the class of call-md-4, basically break it up 3 times. Break it up by a third. That's basically what we're doing here. So a third, a third, a third. And then within here, we just want to have our logo. We want to have our display name. And we also want to have our status. Are they streaming? No. If they are, what are they streaming? And because we want those to be a little bit nice, we'll just go ahead and throw an H1 around this whole thing here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. And we'll close it like so. And then our container. And the last thing we want to do is create a div called follower info. Now, follow info we're going to prepend to later for each one of the followers. When our JavaScript runs, when our document loads, it's going to run our get JSON. From there, it's going to just prepend out the info that we need. So let's go ahead and create that div. Give it ID equal to follower info /div. Alright, let's save this. Now let's just look up at what we have here. So it doesn't look identical to what we had, but obviously we haven't done much styling, but it's looking pretty similar. So at this point right now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hop in to the JavaScript aspect of this, and at the end we'll probably style it up a little bit and go from there. So in the next video we'll get our document ready and we'll go ahead and get the free code camp status. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. My good friend Matt at Engineered Truth has a 3-part interview with Quincy Larson, the founder of Free Code Camp. Go ahead and check that out and you'll get a lot of really cool stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.